Hello and welcome to the August Homebuyer Workshop. Today I'm going to answer the questions that both my buyers and my sellers have because the market has shifted so much that it is more in your favor right now as buyers. And I know you're thinking, oh, great, I'm going to go out and buy. You know what, though? You're not, because so many people are still sitting on the fence waiting for those rates to drop. So we are going to address all of that right now in this homebuyer workshop. So it is truly shifted towards more of a buyer-centric market where you guys are in control than it was a seller's market. And in some situations, I'd say it's a little even, depending on the area here in the Triangle. Some of the Cary neighborhoods, you know what? They are still selling in a few days and going under contract. I had a buyer that put in an offer on a Friday. By Sunday morning, they were the winners. And then I have other listings in the area that are just sitting for over 30 days. And the reality is, if that house is sitting over a week, now is a time for you to jump in as a buyer and make an offer. We are seeing drastic price reductions all over the place because maybe the seller has already moved and they really need to get rid of this property, or they're going to be moving into new construction down the road and they just don't want to be carrying two mortgages. Whatever the situation is, when these houses are sitting more than a week, you become the driver. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get everything that you want all at once. If you, as the buyer, are putting in a lower offer, I'm hearing sellers say, well, if I'm giving you this discount, please see the air quotes if you are just listening to this. If I give you this discount, then I'm not going to make any repairs or offer you any credits for repair. And that happens more and more right now. I'm giving you the money up front. Don't ask me for anything later on. And remember that in North Carolina, sellers are not obligated to make any repairs. So is it better to get a great credit up front? In other words, a big price reduction than try to negotiate those repairs later on? I think so. I mean, it's definitely going to, matter when it comes to your mortgage payment, but maybe you're somebody who also wants those repairs. Right now, all I'm saying is you're in the driver's seat to get that price reduction, and that might be the key. Now, the other thing that I will tell you that you should try to do is get the price reduction and then have the seller agree to giving you money back at closing to help cover your closing costs. That's another thing that I'm seeing happen right now for my buyers. So, for example, I'm going to offer, I don't know, 20,000 less on the house, but I want 8,000 back for my closing costs. So now we've just agreed on the price. We are going to artificially increase the price of the house by 8,000 so that the seller gives that money back to you. In the end, the seller's getting the same amount, you're paying the same amount. It's just how we are working the numbers so that you get a credit back at closing to cover your closing costs. If you're confused about that, give me a DM, call me, let me know. I'll explain it to you all over again, even with some photos. But the idea is get the credit. Let's see if we can work that out. Get a credit for a home warranty, all the things that will cover you later on down the road. Because you know what? These resale homes, a lot of them are coming with older HVAC systems and work that needs to be done, which is probably one of the reasons why these houses are sitting. And speaking of older systems, again, I want my buyers to understand if the house has a roof that's older than 10 years old, your home insurance may not cover it. So it's really important that you understand going into the purchase, there's a chance that the home insurance isn't going to cover it, that you're going to have to get that roof replaced sooner than later if you want it covered by your home insurance. And if you're not sure what that really means, I will hook you up with Meg from Meg's Best Insurance. I have a video that I did with her. It is here on my YouTube. Please watch it. She is fantastic at explaining all of this and will walk you through all of your insurance options. She is an insurance broker, so she has the ability to shop many different policies, and that's going to make a big difference for you as the buyer. Now, the next thing that I want you to understand is that just because you are in the driver's seat as the buyer doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to get all the things that you want. I recently had a buyer go in at a really reduced rate, and the seller said, fine, then if that's the case, I am not leaving the refrigerator, washer, and dryer. And that was a negotiation that the buyer was willing to make because it gave a lot lower. Oops, so sorry. It gave a lot lower of a price to them on their mortgage side. So they were willing to say, forget that. I don't care. But understand, the more that you get off the price of the house might also mean the seller is going to take away because it's hurting their pocket, right? So they can sell that refrigerator, washer, and dryer on eBay or on Facebook Marketplace and get money for it. And that just means you're going to have to buy your own. So again, the more negotiations up front, the less you might get in the end. I think you're still in a better position for you to get money off the price of the house, get some closing costs covered, and get that home warranty in there. It is in your favor. So stop waiting for those rates to drop. Y'all, just stop. It's not going where you want it to go. And if that means it's impossible for you to buy right now, fine. Then make that the reason you're not buying. But now is a buyer's market. Now is your chance if you're willing to take that mortgage now and then refinance later. Now's your chance. But don't keep waiting for that rate to drop because, guys, it's not here. It's not going to be here for a really long time. It's not going back to COVID rates. And you will be missing out on your opportunity to get a low price. Do it now because my prediction, and I'm saying this in August, is that come February, this market is going to go right back to a hot seller's market. You got a little bit of time to get this in. And if you pass it up because you're waiting for that rate to drop, you may be sorely mistaken and you will have regrets. So that's all I have for you during the August Homebuyer Workshop. If you want to watch the one that I did last month, you can catch it here. And I am happy to answer all of your questions one-on-one. Drop me a DM, share this with anybody thinking of buying here in the Triangle area. And I look forward to seeing you in the next workshop.